Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Grow Through It podcast. My name is Julia, and today we are talking about what safe love feels like. I wanted to do this episode today because I've been reflecting a lot lately on how I used to feel in a relationship and how differently I feel now. Over the last couple of years, and especially this past year, I have felt so loved, secure, and free to be myself in my relationship. It's been such an amazing feeling to be with someone who makes me feel safe enough to let my guard down and brings out my inner child. For so long, I thought love had to feel intense to be real. But I've realized that the safest love is the one that feels peaceful. The kind where you can breathe, laugh, and just be yourself. And don't get me wrong, it's not all rainbows and butterflies. We've had some really hard moments, and we don't always show up as our best selves. But we always feel safe and loved with each other. I want you to reflect on your own relationship throughout this episode. Or if you're single, reflect on past relationships. First, let's talk about what safe love actually feels like. It feels calm in your nervous system. There's no guessing, walking on eggshells, or waiting for the next argument. I remember in my last relationship, I was constantly walking on eggshells. I was always anticipating the next argument, and I was just anxious all the time. My nervous system was so out of whack. Now my nervous system is so regulated, and I feel calm and safe, and I'm never worried about what's to come. Safe love also feels like you feeling seen and accepted, even on your off days. There will always be hard days and hard times, but you should always feel accepted and loved. As you may know, I've been going through a pretty tough time recently, and Paul's support has been so incredible. I don't always show up as my best self, especially lately. I have really hard days, I get really sad, and some days I'm just more emotional than others. But Paul always recognizes this and knows how to be there for me. He makes me feel safe to express these emotions. Communication should always feel respectful and gentle. There should never be yelling or name calling. I've talked about this a couple times before, but in my past relationship, communication was awful. We were always yelling at each other, and I'm sure we said some things that we should not have said. Our arguments always blew up, and I never felt like I was actually being heard. I also felt gaslit a lot of the times because I couldn't really express how I was feeling without it being turned around on me. Now I can communicate my feelings and know Paul will do his absolute best to see it from my perspective, and we work through it together. We always hear each other out, even if it takes a minute. Sometimes we have to walk away, and that's okay. If we're getting worked up about something, we just calmly walk away, take some deep breaths, do our own thing, and then come back together and work through it together. There's never a blame game. We always try and find a solution together and see what we both could have done better in that situation. When you're feeling safe in love, you're never afraid of losing them for being yourself. You're encouraged to grow. I've never been more myself with anyone else. He sees the real me and he encourages that and wants to see it. There's also mutual effort and accountability. It's not just one-sided. It's not you putting all the effort into your relationship or you being the only one to take accountability. You both take accountability for your actions, and you're both putting an effort to your relationship and to better yourselves. When there's emotional safety, there's more authenticity. Emotional safety gives you permission to show every side of yourself. The goofy side, the emotional side, messy, ambitious. Like I said, I truly don't think anyone has seen the side of me that Paul has, but it's because I feel safe enough to show him that. I'm not worried about judgment or losing him over it. I hid my true self for so many years because I was judged for things I said or did, and I just felt like my true self was never accepted by anyone else. But it's so freeing to actually just be myself and not have to censor anything. When we feel safe, we don't have to perform. We just are who we are. Paul also brings out my inner child, and that has helped heal parts of me that I used to feel like were too much. We can be silly and goofy with each other, and we just laugh all the time. I've never had that before, and again, it's just such a good, freeing feeling to be able to do that with someone and just be playful and fun and just bring out the joy in each other. But when we don't feel emotionally safe with someone, we hide who we are. We're not speaking our truth. We're not doing the things that we want to do or saying the things we want to do. We have to hide those parts because we don't feel safe enough to express ourselves. So reflect on your relationship. Are you truly able to be your real self without censoring, without being afraid of judgment? How does your partner make you feel? Is your partner able to open up and be themselves around you? Being in a healthy relationship can also help heal you. The love I knew before was filled with anxiety, proving myself, emotional highs and lows. It was constantly a roller coaster. I never felt like I was enough. Now I am loved for exactly who I am. There are no major highs or lows or anxiety. It's calm and safe. My nervous system is so regulated now, and if I'm having a bad day, I can just hug him and I instantly relax. He can feel my body relaxing. That has been so healing for me, not only emotionally, but physically as well. There have been a lot of physical symptoms that have improved since I've been in this relationship. I remember constantly having joint pain. I was always bloated. I had major food intolerances, more so than I do now. I was exhausted all the time. I had zero energy. I was constantly getting sick, every single month. There were so many little physical things that were happening in my past relationship because my nervous system was so dysregulated, and that was affecting my body physically. All of those things have gone away for the most part. There's still a couple things here and there, but for the most part, I am so much healthier physically and emotionally since I've been in this relationship. And healing in love doesn't mean your partner fixes you. It means that they create the space where healing becomes possible. Paul didn't rescue me. He reminds me I'm safe, and that allows me to rescue myself. I have grown so much in this relationship, but he didn't do that. I did. He just allowed a safe space for me to grow. I stand up for myself way more. I'm not afraid to try new things anymore. My anxiety has lessened so much. I'm more outgoing. I want to meet people. I want to do physically hard things. I want to do mentally hard things. I want to grow. And all of that happened because I was in an environment where I felt safe enough to do those things. So how can you recognize or create safe love? Pay attention to how your body feels around them, not just your emotions. Like I said, my body instantly relaxes and I can breathe deeper. I remember in my last relationship, I would be driving home from work and have panic attacks on the way home because I didn't want to be around him. On a slightly less intense note, I would also get anxious when he would come near me at home. I would feel worried about bringing something up, and I often crossed my arms or made my body small around him. Things never got physical, but sometimes I would flinch when he came near me. Those things are major red flags that something is wrong. Look for a partner who values calm communication and mutual growth. Paul taught me how to communicate calmly and effectively. We solve problems together. We also both encourage each other to grow and evolve without trying to control each other. It comes from a place of support and wanting what's best for the other person, not that we want to benefit from it. I truly am so grateful for this relationship, and I feel like I'm learning so much about relationships and love. And one of the reasons I started this podcast is because I wanted to show people what is out there for them. And I've said this before, but there was a time in my life where I was in a very, very dark place, and I never thought something like this would be possible for me. I didn't feel worthy enough to have a relationship like this. I accepted a very toxic relationship because I didn't have any confidence in myself. And I didn't know those things were bad. I didn't know the way I was feeling were red flags. I didn't hear anyone talk about those things. So that's why I wanted to do this episode today. And remember, our relationship is definitely not perfect. No relationship ever is. This episode is not me trying to brag about him or us, but it's to show you what's possible in a relationship. Coming from such a toxic relationship that completely broke me, I am so grateful to have found Paul, and I truly want that for everyone. I want you to find someone who makes you feel seen and loved and safe. Like I said, I never thought there was someone out there like that when I was in the worst place of my life. But I promise you, if you're feeling that way, there is absolutely someone out there for you. Your relationship or partner will never be perfect, but you can feel safe and loved every day, and you deserve to feel that way. That is it for today's episode. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram at growthroughit.pod, or you can use the anonymous link in the show notes to ask questions or suggest future topic ideas. If you enjoyed this episode, I would be so grateful if you would rate, review, follow, or subscribe, and share this podcast with someone you think would benefit from it. Thank you so much for listening, and remember that you are worthy. See you next time.